Hey there friends, it's Gun Gaming. Welcome to the next part in this series of how to move your character forward when you feel a little bit stuck. Maybe it's on a big hard boss, maybe it's on the next piece of content like specializations or running raids. Each of these tips is going to help you both in the short game and in the long game, and it's going to help you plan out your character a little bit more and enjoy the game and the grind a bit more. You're going to be a lot more intentional about what you're doing and have a lot more enjoyment in it. That's what I think. And that's what my experience has been. But before I jump into it, I just want to say here, if you like my content, or even if you feel mediocre about it, please leave a sub. It would really help me a lot. As soon as we get to 1,000 subs, I'll be able to actually get some revenue back from Google and put that into making some higher quality content and paying off my student loans, which is something everybody needs, right? And then also we'll be talking about doing some tournaments for charities and stuff like that. I have some cool ideas for that. But anyway, jumping into the video. So last time we covered costumes, I have said this over and over again. I think just going to keep saying it. As a free-to-play player, you should give up on regional pieces. You should not even be mixing and matching costume pieces. You're missing out on huge stat bonuses. It makes a huge difference, and it is what got me through the game so much faster as Black Widow than as Star-Lord, also because Black Widow's better. But Star-Lord was such a slog because I just didn't grasp the importance of these sets. And in setting my sights appropriately to match where my character was. And to start farming for the stats that I really cared about in the long game. So we covered all of that in the last video. The next thing I want to talk about here are badges. So you can actually set multiple costume sets and multiple badge sets based on a different game mode. Note here that when I strip off all the costumes and badges, my power level does go down significantly. As you level up these costume pieces, you're going to notice a huge jump in the power level. We'll strip off everything, and note that you can always come into your level here if you click on level. For whatever reason, it's not when you click power, but I guess this arrow on level is supposed to indicate that to you. This makes no sense to me. This should totally be on power, not on level, but whatever. You can also choose a different title based on these sets, which is a little weird to me, but whatever. And then you can always check your upgrade guide to see how you're progressing as a character. I've maxed out all skills just so it would show me this cutiful, that's a new word, little symbol for me. That's so nice and pretty, isn't it? And then my gear is obviously trash here because we have nothing equipped. 1 out of 7's on everything. And my squad I'm still bumping up. For whatever reason, it's giving me a 3 out of 7 on squad power. We're going to have to push that up into the ethosphere, blast on through. And then I think Omega cards are really based on your level of cards as well. Anyway, so if you click on this, it's going to break down all your stats. You can also check here by clicking on costume, etc. And then the plus is just what's being added onto your character. You have to subtract the plus from this white number to get your actual base stats. Don't know why, but that's how it is. So you're seeing here no stats from costumes or battle badges. I do get some title points here, some potential, some squad power, Omega cards. My alliance bonuses, specializations as well is a big deal for my character as I'm progressing into the end game. If you are stuck in the middle of the game, you can ignore basically all of this. And we're going to cover more in the next video about the little things you can do to move those base stats up to a point where your character can progress through the early game without worrying at all about your battle badges and costumes. But I really here wanted to make a point about how much power costumes and battle badges can impact. And a huge part of that are the battle badges. So the costumes get a lot of traction, play, notoriety, however you want to call it, because they do have these awesome set bonuses. This crit damage increase by 27.7% is really nice from these 4 costumes together. I'm getting an 11% crit damage bonus here. I'm getting a 14% crit damage bonus here. And crit damage is a major focus for me on my Black Widow. I'm also trying to build up dodge rate more recently just so I can dodge some big attacks from opponents in Dimensional Duel and against big bosses. Dodge is super helpful. Some of the best Captain Americas I know are actually just forgetting about defense and only building dodge because it's such a powerful mechanic right now. I do think it's going to get nerfed eventually, but for now, just note that that's there. So, but let's focus on crit damage, because crit damage is what powered me through bosses. It's what got me through the game the fastest. It's what made it easy to beat Ares, Maestro, Thanos, Crossbones, Vision, wherever you're stuck. I got through it much easier as Black Widow because I had this attuned sense of what I was focusing on for my character, and the crit damage build for Black Widow makes a lot of sense. And here you're seeing 220% crit damage boost, right? So my costume, though, is getting me 53% of that. We're going to come back to battle badges. My title, nothing. My potential, nothing. But we do get a 21% increase from my potential. Sorry. So between my costume and my potential, I'm at around, and see this plus 27% is from the set bonus. So always keep that in mind. The attack is from the set bonus as well. So the set bonus attack percentages, I know some people build like 2 and 2s, where they do like 2 of one set and 2 of another set if they get like 2 regional pieces. It's really not that meaningful. It's not all that much of a score right here for my total attack. That 293 from each of those if I had 2 different sets. Ironically too, the number actually goes down when you break up the sets. So like if I apply this, if you watched my last video, the set is no longer at 4 point whatever, even though it just says for 2 set. Well, for whatever reason, it's keyed into the 4 set. I don't know why that is that way, but it is. So just note that it's just always better to build a full 4 set. Don't get distracted there. But as you come down, my specialization is adding, I do have these extra bonuses from my specialization, increasing my max crit damage and increasing my crit damage when I have 2 deadly aim class skills. This does not apply to my base stats though. These are just specialized stats, and they show underneath my character as indicators here as constant ever present things. And I don't know why they don't always show. You can jump to them, but these are my applied active traits. So, but moving over to battle badges, because I think that this is something a lot of people overlook. Cores and battle badges matter. You can see here from my battle badges alone, I'm getting a 68.5% crit damage. And as we reference back, my costume with that set bonus included is only 53.4%. And as I go through my badges, I don't have the best badges. I really don't. I have 3 5-star Maestro badges, and somewhat ironically, I got a 6-star drop today, and it was for one I already had. And the core slots are almost identical to what I currently have. The one I currently have is Power and Frenzy. And this brings me to the point that matters for me, which is green cores. So green cores are going to give me 11.4% crit damage on this 4-star, and they're always the same. They don't go up and down like other things. You can see 11.41. This one is only a 3-star because I'm trying to crunch up into a higher core. And I had saved up a bunch of cores and made a video of them, and they all are upgraded now and applied to my character. And the video is useless because of no sound. So I'm not going to be crunching cores now. I just want to kind of illustrate this point. But again, I'm building my dodge rate here. You can see my dodge rate is around 25% almost. So pretty solid there, and a big chunk of that coming from my battle badges, which I'm still trying to build, but 9%. So for me, it's greens are top priority, blues are second most priority to get that crit damage dodge build for my Black Widow, so she can do a lot of damage, get out of the dip in, dip out, avoid some attacks from other players, and not have to worry about building her thick with health and defense, but instead just a big glass cannon that tries to avoid most attacks. So, and then you're seeing here too, one of the weird thing about badges is the numbers here are basically basis points divided by 2. So if you've ever worked in stocks, bonds, etc., ever used like LIBOR rates. A lot of you guys are relatively educated, maybe work in finance, so you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, that's okay. Just note that you just need to insert a point right here before this 5, and then you need to divide this in 2 for some unknown reason. So right here, this attack is actually going to give you a 2.5 or like a 2.559% increase in attack. So this is not a base number increase. These are percentages. Guard damage is the same thing. This Nebula crit rate is a good example. Obviously, that's always a percentage. So for her, that's always a base increase. And here we're seeing a, let's add up all the attack just to illustrate what I'm talking about. 3.8% off this core. Or here, actually, let's just come here and we'll just click on one of these. Let's see, attack, equip. Here, now you can check this out in here. Battle badge, and you can just break this down. So attack actually does come as just a raw stat. That's why badges are so impactful on a brand new character if you have one. Same with defense, same with HP. But for every other stat, it is a percentage. Just trying to get one that has a percentage here. Okay, guard damage, status affected, resistance, etc. Let's equip this one. Unequip this just so you guys can see it in a vacuum. We're going to click on it. Battle badge. You see the defense is a flat stat, but the other ones, crit damage decrease is 2.5, 2.4, 2.5. So when we go to it and look at it, it's going to read as like a 500. Yeah, 2.5, 2.4. I could not explain to you how and why these numbers match up to what they do. That's just about what they are. I don't. And sorry, I put the decimal point in the wrong spot. It goes right here divided by 2. But for these, for guard damage and crit damage decrease, they don't. That's not even what that number is. So, I wish I could explain to you how their math works. For some of them, it's really straightforward, like with the crit damage. Let's see if we can find one that's just crit damage here. I had one here. Crit rate. We'll do this one. So I'm not getting any crit rates from either of these. So it's like 2031. And when we come down to battle badge and we go to crit rate, it's 3.7%. So I think it must be divided by 3 now. So it's like basis points divided by 3. I don't know. Is this like 20? Anyway, just note that these numbers are here and they make a difference, and no one can really understand the math. One day when I figure it out, I'll make a new video to you guys about it. I think we had figured it out earlier on into the beta, but it looks like they've been nerfed somewhat, and this happened without really explaining to players how those numbers actually added up. The easy numbers to add up, though, are the cores. And again, these cores make a big difference. You want to be looking for the right colors. You'll notice I'm still using a level 70 Daughter of Thanos 6-star badge for the crit rate, which is really helpful. Although we just found out it's like a 3% increase. But the bigger thing that makes an impact here are these cores. I am looking for a 3 to replace this badge. It's not all that great. And then I eventually will want to replace this Daughter of Thanos badge with the Maestro Badges. So the Maestro one will give you this super villain damage increase by 7,000. So if we come into battle badges and we look for super villain damage, 6.2%. And you know that this is from the set bonus. I don't know that. I don't know why 7,000 is 6.2%. And 2,000 is 3%. That math does not translate. They are not always fixed percentages based off those numbers. we are where we are. Oh, I think we'll keep pressuring the devs for more insight into that. But point being that like you do get this nominal percent increase to super villains once you get to a 6-star set. It is the highest. So that's what I'm angling for. Now, if you want to look at another set you might want to try to be building, you want to come into collections, click on battle badges, and you can look at all of these level 100s. And then you can click on each of these. So PvP damage increase from these ones, from these Star-Lord badges is pretty solid. These are there's one of each of the characters. It looks like gets 2 badges, and Doctor Strange gets the 6-star, with Spider-Man and Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, and Star-Lord get the 2nd, and so on and so forth. So, but these ones do PvP damage increase. The 6-star is a little bit higher, so once you get all of them a 6-star, that's really good. Lord of Jotunheim, you can see I got 1 of these ever, period, full stop. I do always mill my 4 stars and keep my 5s and 6s. I think if you are trying to really build out a set here for that set bonus, for the max damage rate, for example, on this one, or that PvP damage, you might actually want to keep the 4 stars just to set them up, especially if they had 2 cores of the color you care about. But for me, you know, I didn't really care about keeping a guard damage increase on Black Widow, who doesn't really rely on that at all. And all of my alts don't really care that much either. We're just going to keep rolling till we get something that is really helpful. But again, all of these do different things. The way you get these is by doing Dark Zone, and then by also pulling these badges out of Omega War Chests. So those are the 2 places that you can farm them. MODOK will give you defense. Kingpin will give you HP. Ultron will give you air-to-surface damage, which is stupid unless you're Iron Man, in my opinion. Ultimate skill gauge recovery off of Yellow Jacket. Probably good for Captain Marvel, since a lot of people are building their entire kits around her ultimate. But there you go. And then PvP damage increase from these Maestro ones, and these ones are other ones you can farm elsewhere. And then these level 100 battle badges, when it just is the level 90, 100, 80, 70, etc. Those are from the blitzes and the blitzes alone. So you can see here I'm still working on that set, still working on this set. Pretty much just looking for the 6 stars on most of these sets to complete my collection. It is a lot of squad rank power, so make sure you do all your blitzes every day at least until you fill all these out. You also get squad rank power and gold from those. So anyway, this is like a really deep dive into battle badges. I know that feels probably overwhelming to a lot of you. The TLDR here. Just watch from this point on. If this is all you want to know, skip forward to it. You work on getting a full set bonus in costumes, then work on getting a set. Do not worry about getting a set bonus for badges. Just get the highest level possible with the highest star rank possible. The base stats here, the bonus stats rather, are really not all that meaningful. The base stats are really not all that meaningful. The cores make a huge difference and should be the major focus of what you are angling toward. When you break down the power numbers from the battle badges here, you're going to notice that that's where all the difference is made. Although that base HP is increased, almost half of my HP is coming from battle badges, with a lot of that just coming from these level 6 battle badges under the main stat. So note that that does make a difference, and it is always a keyed stat that stays the same regardless of what you drop on the bonus stats. So if I really did want to go girthy here, this would add an extra 10,000 HP to my character, which is not a negligible amount for my Black Widow. This would take me from 66 to 76,000. So it's something that I could keep in mind, and if I'm still feeling really squishy, I could go ahead and switch to. Although on net, it's really like 7,000 here. So, anyway, I care about the cooldown decrease a little bit more since I've finally built my stamina recovery to a spot that matters. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, good luck out there. Have some fun. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.